Back here in Studio B, Mayor Brett Smiley joins me for our Connect to the Providence segment. Mayor, good to have you with us.
Happy to be here.
I want to point out one of the live cameras here that we watch. We watch this every night, of course, of the 195 changes. Our director's going to punch it up pretty short. As you can see, these are the backups that people are facing, even with the lane changes. The last time you were here, we talked about the marathon, which had to be canceled, in essence, because of the Washington Bridge. Just the impact of this just does not seem to be going away, and the $300,000, the grants that they're offering doesn't seem to, it's not going to cover everybody's problems. So I'm just wondering what new plans are underway.
Yeah, I mean, we had a community meeting on Monday night, and there was a business owner with a business on Waterman Street who, is having a hard time getting customers to want to brave the traffic to get there. She's a massage therapist, and she's like, the last thing people want to do is come get a massage and then sit in traffic for 45 minutes and get all stressed out again. And so the impacts, I've heard from restaurants on Federal Hill, it's not just Wayland Square. And the SBA grant loans that we rolled out early were great, but a lot of these small business owners don't want to or can't take on more debt.
Exactly.
And so we're continuing to advocate at the State House for additional grant funding. This is a statewide problem, needs to have a statewide solution. It can't just be city funds. And then at the meantime, we're trying to do what we can to ease the burden on places like Wayland Square to make it easier to get around so those folks don't feel like I shouldn't go there, I should just avoid Wayland Square at all costs. Right. Do not do that. Please come support Wayland Square. And we're making it easier than ever to find parking, to safely traverse the area as a pedestrian, and to get through the area.
Right, but you can't blame people who on a Saturday night don't want to sit in that traffic. And now this lane change, I'm curious to think of what you think so far of the lane change that's implemented today.
Yeah, let me say, now, unless there's an accident, Saturday night is actually not a huge problem. It's really rush hour. And so
there might be some people who disagree with you.
Well, but I still encourage people to go out to dinner, come to see a show in Providence, come enjoy the entertainment and nightlife. It is primarily a rush hour problem. We know there's a problem every time there's an accident or some other issue. The lane change, I'm still optimistic, will yield positive results. Change is hard. The lanes are more narrow. There was obviously a delay this morning in finishing the work, and so that backed up and ruined the entire morning commute. But it's certainly not time to say this was a failure. There's still plenty of time to give it a chance, and I think it'll help.
But the margin of error is really short now, and when you go into the different kind of weather patterns, all it takes is one accident and there's no place to move the cars. That was the concern I was hearing from drivers today.
Yeah, it is tight, and something that DOT director said that it really resonated with me is this is the same lane width on the Pell Bridge. And so, there are places in the state where people are used to driving in these narrow lanes. We know it's more narrow than it was before. And I've heard and have repeatedly asked to be assured that the governor has tow trucks available on the bridge at all times so that if there is an accident, we can clear it as fast as possible.
Right. Do you feel like you're being heard?
Yeah, I mean, we have regular communication with RIDOT and the governor. They're certainly hearing our feedback. Everyone's resource constrained, and so I would like to see more small business support. Someone's got to pay for that, and I understand everyone's got a budget to balance, but they're listening, and we're in good regular conversation.
Other issue, obviously, that's getting a lot of attention, and a lot of people are speaking out. You've been attending community meetings, is your plan for the bike path. I know with the PVD Fest that you kind of listen to people and then you change your mind. Is there any chance that's going to happen with you on this case? Because there's a lot of people who are just vocally not happy.
Yeah, there's also a lot of people who are supportive of the change. And so this change is going to happen. And I hope, I'm optimistic that, because we're not just removing a bike lane, we're moving a bike lane. We're taking it from where it is now to restore a second lane of travel on South Water Street, and then we will be building a new off-road bike lane. So I'm confident that when that work is finished, that people will realize, though we still have bike infrastructure, there's still a way to commute by bike, we still care about our urban trail network is what we call it. Right. It's just going to be off-road.
What about, one of the things I noticed about that area, and I've seen bike paths in different cities, is it's very wide. Yeah. And there's some people who said, can you just shorten it a little bit and still make everybody happy?
Well, not in its current location. There's no way to shrink where it is and restore the travel lane. There's not that much extra space. But there's a standard for these two-way bike lanes that we're going to follow in the new bike lane. And I'm hopeful that at the end of the day, everyone will realize that this is maybe not as dramatic or catastrophic as a change as some people are suggesting it is at the moment.
Right. Someone would argue that no city more than Providence depends on RIPTA. And as you know, NBC 10 is one of the many outlets reporting that it appears that the RIPTA head, Scott Aberdeen, is going to resign or working out some kind of resignation after that incident at McDonald's. I wanted to get your take on this.
Yeah, I mean, Scott needs to go through that process to be held accountable for that incident, whatever the courts may find happened there. I will say on a personal level, I know Scott. I like Scott. He's a good person. It's hard when you take on these jobs in public service that any personal failings become big public news. And so I'm thinking a lot about him. I'm sad that he's has to go through this. There absolutely should be accountability for his personal actions, but he's also a human being with a long track record of positive service in our community, and at least I have some empathy for him.
Great. What else is happening in the city?
It's a really exciting time. We just announced the launch of our summer programming, which is one of the best times in the city. $5 a week summer camp, free meals for kids throughout the summer, and hundreds of summer jobs for our youth. Nothing gets me more excited than spending time with our kids over the summer. And on April 27th, there'll be the Eat, Play, Learn PVD Fair, where you can sign up for summer camps and find out about all the great summer activities in the city.
Awesome. Mayor, always good to have time with you. Thanks for making time for us.
Thank you.
We certainly appreciate it.
And I want to wish Emily good luck.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Thank
you're
you,
a
Mayor.
runner, right?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, yep, we're all
All right.
pulling for Emily. Thanks,
Knock her
Mayor.
dead, yeah.
We appreciate that.
I appreciate